Now his canine brother still walks this earth, still sniffing out farms buried in the dirt, in a fight for freedom that'll never die. His canine brother is missing him tonight. On night patrol that fateful day, they came to a stream. Along the way, Josh picked up his best friend.
Hey guys, thank you all for your patience. I'm getting ready to have Andy Griggs join us really quick here. There we are. Hey Andy, how are you?
Well, I'm doing good. What part of the country are you in right now?
In Louisville, Kentucky.
You're in Louisville? Okay.
Yeah.
You're not too far from Nashville.
I'm not. I'm literally 2 hours and 15 minutes away. I've checked it and made sure that's exactly what it is. So I know if I need to get there because there's an Andy Griggs show going on,
All right. Yeah.
that I can be there in 2 hours and 15 minutes.
And you better be here.
Hey, I'm so glad that you were able to join us tonight.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
No, it's really, you do a lot of things. The last time that you and I saw each other, it's been years. It was the first time I ever saw you, but it was in Bowling Green, Kentucky. We did you, Jeff Bates, Brian White, Danielle Peck, all did a benefit for St. Jude's. Yeah.
I remember that. That's been a while ago. Danielle Peck had her Yorkie puppy with her.
Yes, and she was pregnant with Ava Jolie. So
yeah, okay.
It's been 6-7 years now. So it had been a while, but I told your representative earlier, for me, being able to stand because that was an acoustic kind of in the round show, and being able to listen to you, because you have one of those timeless voices I could pick up. Okay, so I don't have the Andy Griggs CD sitting over here. It's actually in my car, so I've got everything else up here. I can listen to anything from the 90s to listening to Canine Brother today, and immediately know that's Andy Griggs. So when are we going to get some new music or a new album? I mean, I want more Andy Griggs.
Well, actually, Laura, very soon. Man, I'm thrilled to death at the powers that be, this song here, Canine Brother, to be, the single for this album. So that's quite a thrill, and such a compliment. That's not just about me. Of course, it's about the song and the whole story, but the whole thing is, me singing on it. So that's a very high point right now is me being the voice of the new single for that. But I think probably we're going to go in this late summer or fall and start recording a brand new project. So I'm hoping, I'm hoping that, sometime around winter time, and you will be doing this again about my new songs.
We will be. Let's talk about this project real quick, because we both have kind of alluded to Canine Brother, which is a track on the Love Lives On project. I don't know whether to call it a CD. It's a project because it took this whole labor of love. And I've got notes because it's such a great project. I didn't want to miss anything. So it's RAMS, Roots in American Music Society from Memphis, Tennessee, and TAPS, which Tragedy Assistance Program for Survivors. And the families came in with amazing songwriters, amazing producers, and then of course the vocals from a list of people that anybody would die to have sing their song. How did that all come together, and how did you get involved in that, and how'd that work?
That's a great question, Laura. TAPS has been going on for a while, but I didn't know anything about it. And some songwriter buddies and some singing buddies here in Nashville have been doing this for several years, and been doing different shows for Taps. And I got the call probably about a year ago to join them in Colorado to do a show with them, and I was not familiar with Taps at all. So I was brand new to it, and told everybody, and I didn't realize how big of a thing that it was. So when I got there and got on stage, I was honest and told everybody I'm a virgin to this. I'm looking at the new little step kid here. I'm just learning about it. But what got me so involved was that week. It was just the irony of how timing is. That week I lost a buddy of mine in Florida from suicide.
Oh, Andy, I had goosebumps.
He's been back stateside probably. He was a Marine. I think he was back stateside probably 2 years, something like that. And that week, actually. And so my first thing with Taps was during that week, and already had a heavy heart. And I started meeting the people and finding out, what Taps does, which basically, in layman's terms, it's given to the folk who have lost a loved one, whether it's the wife or husband or the mother, whoever, so.
Right. Of a service member.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I had never really heard of an organization that strictly just gives to those families,
Right.
So sometime, I think when we got back, and I'm trying to that show was like in August or something like that. And when we got back, Frank Myers had contacted me and said they're wanting to do an album. Would you be a part of it? And I said, I would love to. Just let me know. So you get a lot of those phone calls, and usually about 75% of the time when you get phone calls, want to be a part of the project, it don't happen. It fizzles out something. So
right.
All of a sudden, lo and behold, I started seeing where Vince and Larry Gatlin, where everybody was coming together, and I was like, man, this is great. Then I started hearing some of these songs, and then I heard my song that they wanted me to sing, and it blew me away. So it was right around the time the leaves were starting to turn in Nashville is when I walked in to record it. So probably mid to late October is when I walked in to record it there at Starstruck and, Music Row in Nashville.
I mean, and Starstruck, speaking of, I mean, when I look at this list, I get starstruck. And I got to fangirl a little earlier with you, so I'm calm now. But so the other artists that are on here: Vince Gill, Oak Ridge Boys, Deborah Allen, Lone Star, Leroy Parnell, All for One, T.G. Shepherd, and his beautiful wife Kelly Lang. I always have to say that about her; she is amazing. Pam Tillis, Paul Overstreet, Andy Griggs. I mean, we as country fans could not create a better lineup of artists to put on an album.
Yeah, right. It's a big lineup. I laughed when I read who all was on it, and I went, they got the New York Yankees. It's like looking at the New York Yankee list, So yeah, it is an honor to be a part of it.
Well, tell us about, because this song is about a kid named Josh. I say a kid because he's just a kid. And how was it with meeting his family and being in the place that you were after your friend, but then having to sing this song for them about their son?
Man, it was mixed emotions, to be honest with you. It wasn't. At first, I wasn't real happy that they asked me to when they had the album release and families came, but they made sure that Josh's family came because it was going to be me that sang live. All the other artists that you just named, they just sat there in their chairs and, did real quick interviews and watched videos. But, it was something, they said, well, Griggs, you're going to sing yours live. And I was like, well, I never said I'd sing it live.
But it was great.
Fine, this is going to be a tough deal. So I meet Mom and I meet the little brother, and they're there. And I'm biting my lip as I'm meeting them. And Mom is crying and telling me how much she loves the song, and she's giving me stuff. And it was really emotional. And I haven't even hit the stage yet. And then I looked over and saw where she was sitting, and she was sitting up front and center. So I mean, I'll be honest with you, I had mixed emotions about singing that song live, and when everybody else just that we were just watching videos for. But when it came, it went smooth, and you know, yeah, I got emotional. I carried myself, but I think pretty decent. But at the end, blew her a kiss, and it was just raining tears. And I did, you know, the Lord, I ran off the stage because I didn't want anybody to see me cry. I didn't want them to see snot coming out of my nose. And I
Well,
blew her a kiss, and I looked over, and she had the Washita River coming out of her eyes. Man, I ran back stage because snot was starting to come out.
I mean, and I was there that night, so I watched you. But
Yeah,
what an amazing performance in the midst of. So I think that maybe everybody did that to you on purpose. If you were the rookie and all this to begin with, they were like, "Well, we're just going to make him go all in."
Well, I didn't realize at that time that they had already decided that this was going to be the single,
which is amazing. Yeah, like I can't listen to the song. It's on. I've had it since the press release came out for the show in February, and I can't listen to it without tearing up or getting all the goosies. And I think not that I know all. I'm just a country fan myself, but I think they picked the perfect voice, the perfect person to sing this perfect song. And if you wouldn't mind, play it for us, please.
This will be a lot easier playing it right here than it, Josh Baum.
Well, I'll just do this while I make you cry.
You should have seen us in Starstruck. You know, when I was trying to record it, it was I was like, man, I'm gonna have to sing this 30 times before I can sing it the first time without tearing up. Sweet, sweet, sweet story. I've never heard a story quite like this. And if anybody out there don't know the story, it's Josh was he joined the Marines, and you know, his partner was a German Shepherd, and he not only did Josh lose his life, but he lost his life saving his dog. You know, and then I didn't know this until later that, you know, the dog stayed active. The German Shepherd stayed active for a while, and then when he retired, Josh's family got the dogs. The dog is still alive and well, living in California, so I'm sure sleeping on a better pillow than I own in my place, and eating steaks every night, I'm sure. Josh was a young boy when the Twin Towers fell. He heard faithful stories that his family would tell. He knew right then and there, out of respect, that he would risk his life to serve and protect. 4 years later, in Afghanistan. No, I'm sorry, wrong verse. Well, his mama told him not to leave the nest, but when he joined the Marines, heck yeah, he chose the best. 4 years later, in Afghanistan, his frontline partner was a dog and not a man. Now his canine brother still walks this earth, still sniffing out bombs, planted in the dirt, and the fight for freedom that'll never die. His canine brother is missing him tonight. Missing him tonight. On a night patrol, that fateful day, they came to a dream along the way.
Josh picked up the dog and he threw him across. A few steps later, one life was saved and one life was lost. And now his canine brother still walks this earth, still sniffing out bombs, planted in the dirt. In his fight for freedom, that'll never die. His canine brother is missing him tonight. And those Marines who were right there with him said he was a lion among men, a warrior, a brother, and a dog best friend. His canine brother still walks this earth, still sniffing out bombs in the dirt. In the fight for freedom, that'll never die. His canine brother is missing Josh tonight. He's missing Josh tonight. Missing him. Yeah, still missing him. His canine brother is missing Josh tonight.
All right, I'm done. See, I took all that time doing that. No, thank you, Andy. And I don't know if you've seen some of the comments I've been posting up there, but we have some military moms in here and some military families and people loving the song. And I'm trying to read the comments and grab some as I could put them over there for you. But I mean, I'm just speechless about it. I can't say enough about it. You. I mean,
it's an amazing story, and you know what? I mean, we've got a lot of those amazing stories. I remember thinking this as we were recording. I remember thinking this is one of many incredible stories that, of course, I tip my hat off to Josh. Absolutely, that's why I'm here. That's why we're doing this interview. That's why I'm singing the song. But I tip my hat to all of them. You know, man, all of them, man. I used to tell my granddad that fought in World War II. He fought the Germans and the Japanese. And I remember telling my papa, I would say, "You're the reason I got a Southern accent. If it weren't for men like you, I wouldn't have a Southern accent." You know, so yeah, it's so a lot.
Hey, that's a good song title, Andy.
You know what I thought about? The fact of my Louisiana accent. I can thank my granddad and people like him. Yeah, that would be a cool.
I got this accent from you. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. And I have two veterans. My boyfriend's a veteran. My father's a veteran. My grandfather was a veteran. So, I wanted to make sure we represented tonight too, and made sure I had my flag shawl on because it is important. And I don't think they get as much attention as they should. And they definitely don't get enough gratitude for them or their families, for what their families go through with them being there and what they go through being there and what they miss out on. Just so
that's where TAPS comes in so much that I didn't realize what they were until last year, because man, let's face it, when you lose somebody, the government doesn't pay. Well, you can't pay enough, so it's not like there's a justification in a paycheck. But the family doesn't get near as much as rightfully they should, and again, that's where TAPS comes in. TAPS, that is a very, very, very unique organization.
Yeah, and I didn't either until this album. I had no idea, and then 25 years.
All proceeds are going there or going towards that. None of us are making anything.
Right. And 25 years, they had just celebrated their 25 25th year So yeah, that's amazing. So we definitely have to get the word out about them too. And again, for anybody that's listening, it's TAPS. It's TAPS, and it stands for Tragedy Assistance Program for Survivors. And we'll make sure we put up. I'll make sure I go back and put the link up to them too. Also, the album comes out Memorial Day weekend, so May 22nd.
That's next week, isn't it? Next weekend?
Yeah, next Friday. Not this next. Yeah. Yeah. So everybody download the album anywhere digital music is sold. Purchase the album. Go on the website, lovelivesonmusic.com. And that's been scrolling across the whole bottom here the whole time. So hopefully you all have been able to see that. Make sure you go download the music, crack a beer open, listen to the album, and celebrate and thank them. Thank our families, our military families, and our servicemen and women for what they have given for us. So, Andy, I cannot thank you enough. I'm gonna make that 2 hour and 15-minute drive really soon as the state of Kentucky allows us to leave. And then
Kentucky has been the tightest. Outside of probably Louisiana, Kentucky's been the tightest state during all this, haven't they? From they've even been pointing at Tennessee, saying "Shame on you" to Tennessee.
I know it. It's like, don't fight with your neighbors.
It's like a whole different country.
I know it.
There was many cars. Man, everything's halfway normal in Tennessee. I crossed the Kentucky line. Man, all I saw was Amish people on horses, and that was it. Everybody else, I was like, man, this is a whole different country.
Oh, hey, you had to move, so you can't show us your Bobcat and everything else, right?
Yeah. I'm going to disconnect this if let's see.
Okay. All right. Well.
Yeah, you won't be able to see the Bobcat.
Okay.
I thought
all right. We'll have next time. We'll make sure.
Kentucky, that's a Kentucky Bobcat.
Okay. Well, next time I'll just bring the camera and we'll just do the interview at your house. That way you can show us.
Tell you what, when I do my album, you just come right over here. You're 2.5 hours. Come right over here. We won't have this technical difficulty like
that's right. We'll just set up a camera and we'll have to worry about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll just do it that way. Andy, I love you. I love you so much, and thank you so much for everything that you do, and thank you for all the music that you've been a part of. I know for me, and with the comments I can see for everybody else, for being part of the soundtrack of our lives and continuing to be so. And I can't wait to see you and see Lisa really soon too. So we love you and take care. Thank you so much for spending some time with us.
I appreciate you having me. God bless you. I will see you soon.
Okay, I'm giving you a virtual hug because I cannot be there.
We'll elbow it. We'll do the corona.
The corona elbow.
Yeah.
Thank you, Andy. See you later.
God bless.